So the greatest benefit that I've gotten from our college is that its commitment to diversity is real, and that's what I've enjoyed the most.
We struggle at the undergraduate level with recruiting teachers from diverse backgrounds. So we also try very hard in our program to recruit graduate students, highly qualified graduate students, who will be the leaders of the future teacher education groups.
One of the things that I think is most significant at Illinois is that when our students come to us, they come very close to their own school experiences. They know their schools and the communities in which they've attended. And it's an opportunity for us to broaden their perspective and give them a chance to think about schooling in a much larger context. This is certainly true for our urban and suburban students who many times have the very first experiences in rural school settings, just like our students from rural communities who come and experience the urban and suburban settings in their later field placements and their student teaching. And I think what they walk away with is an understanding that diversity is not just the catchphrase or the buzzword that oftentimes they initially associate it with, but instead they come to understand that diversity is a way of being.
What I think is diverse about the college is it's diverse in terms not simply of whether we have presence of underrepresented minorities, but we have international students, we have people with different sexual preferences, we have people with disabilities, we have people who bring different life experiences, whether we're first-generation college students like me, or and it's not just having that presence of those people that's important. It's how you actually engage the issues around which these people. Jim said something about skills. Well, there's a set of dispositions. It's about a willingness and an interest in understanding something different than yourself. Right?
So in all our interactions, try to learn from one another to our own mutual benefit, different perspectives, different backgrounds, different ways of approaching problems.
In my coursework, with a lot of stats and research methods classes, the cultural piece isn't always highly present because there's not a lot of culture in statistics. So, but what the college gives me is these opportunities and spaces for spontaneous interaction with international students. The brown bags that are held on a weekly basis where we get to learn about, maybe this new research method or this new evaluation approach, but it's in a context of this evaluation or this education system in China or this education system in Brazil or this community in Southern Illinois.
I came here because of the diversity of research interests and allowing me to form my own program. I came here to visit like 2 years ago, and they were very welcoming because I'm from the rural South, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm in Illinois and I don't have any networks, but they made me feel so welcome.
We've always had a very diverse society. That is not anything that's new. It was that way in the colonial era, and it's been that way ever since. The challenge we've always faced is really how to understand it and engage it in a way that we can live and work together in a democratic society. Think more about what our students will do when they leave. With diversity comes serious conflicts, negotiations, and differences of opinion, and they can help with that.
The beauty of tolerance is in its kind of inherent antagonistic view in some ways, that what we need to do more of, and which we're doing in the classrooms, particularly with the undergraduates who will be our teachers, is to provide that understanding of their subjective space in which they stand on, that it's open to change. Not an antagonistic relationship in a negative way, but in a positive way, where we're open to not only to listen to the others, but then to change ourselves through that irrigation, through that communication with the others.
It is much more of a project than simply teaching them tolerance, as if they can experience this for 4 years or 5 years and then walk away and do something different, revert to old habits, but rather to have them understand that they actually become better as a consequence of understanding people who've lived in different intersections, culturally, class-wise, race, ethnicity, language, and that their knowledge base is actually richer as a result of engaging in that process.
I think also, though, that there are ways in which we tackle it head on. I mean, in the last 15 years or so, particularly in the U.S., there's been a great deal of interest in what is called culturally competent assessment and evaluation. And we're a leader, this college is a leader in thinking about those issues. And that's not just merely, it's not just merely tolerance for another point of view. It's about designing instruments and designing measurements and designing ways of doing field studies that are actually taking account of fundamental different cultural differences in the way people perceive the world, and how you have to do a kind of research that not simply acknowledges that, but takes that into account.
It's not always easy to talk about diversity. Some people are more comfortable than others raising these issues. The fact that our faculty and staff did raise the issue, you know, where are safe spaces, how can we talk about this, certainly shows an interest on their part to continue to work towards diversifying our college even more.
There have been often times where we've seen faculty discuss similar topics and engage each other in a very diplomatic, a very collegial atmosphere. And even the decoration of the offices, if you walk down the halls, they reflect the individual cultures and identities of our faculty. And to see that come together in harmony in a college and see those things, those lessons come through in their teachings is very important, because those norms are then reinforced, not only amongst each other, but top down from teaching, teacher to student as well. So I think that's a very unique dynamic that our college presents.